show. It's Thursday episode. Today is Thursday and we thank God for a brand new day, a beautiful day which the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. Hope you had a wonderful night rest. All right, thank you so much for always waking up with us. My name is Nonya Nwokoye. Let's start this show with a press review. All right, you're welcome to the press review. On the press review, it's going to be a special kind of review because it's going to be between me and you, the two of us. All right, welcome to the program. We have so many papers to look at and see stories making their headlines in some of our national dailies. And of course, stories trending on ABS website. Let's see stories on ABS website. First of all, a workshop for ICT teachers on digital skills commences in Oka. Then Mrs. Soludo highlights importance of breastfeeding to babies and mothers. Anambra State government to build clinics in markets, of which I know that the one for Onitsha main market has been built already. And the ICT teachers on digital skills, which has commenced, thank God for what is happening in Anambra State. I saw the news yesterday where those in local government were equipped with ICT materials. They were given laptops. Anambra must be digitized, whether anybody likes it or not. All right, let's see the papers right now. We move on to the Punch newspapers. In front of the Punch newspapers, we have stories like state debt may hit 1.34 trillion naira over palliative loans. We have riders there. Governors to begin palliative loans repayment December. FG gives 3 months grace. Gombe, Katsina get 2 billion naira each. Lament inadequate relief items. Obaseki knocks federal government. We can also see in front of the papers an accident. Fleeing drug baron crushes NDLEA officer. Agency launches a manhunt. We can see the picture in front of the Punch newspaper. Now, Senate probes public procurement under Buhari. A man drives tractor into market, destroys 320 million naira property. And still on the Punch newspaper, we have the story. Assembly drops Abayomi, 16 Sanwo-Olu nominees, confirms 22. Naira tumbles to 900 naira per dollar. CBN vows BDC operators clamp down. Let's see how that goes, because this is Nigeria where most times people do whatever they feel like doing without any punishment. All right, panic as rogue killer soldiers spread deaths on Lagos roads. Panic as rogue killer soldiers spread deaths on Lagos roads. We have a rider there. Senator adopts children of aid allegedly killed by rogue soldiers in Lagos. Associates raise 55 million naira. Okay, that's the much we have in front of the Punch newspapers. And I tell you that Nigeria, every day we hear different stories, every day different stories. We can now move on to the next paper for review. On This Day newspaper. In front of This Day newspaper, we have stories like CBN faults JP Morgan's $3.7 billion estimate of Nigeria's net reserves, says no cause for alarm, with a rider there insists close to 80% of funds in reserves owned by Apex Bank. Okay, let's believe what the CBN is saying and see what happens in the nearest future, because we need to see the dollar keep coming down by the day. Now, Lagos lawmakers dropped 17 nominees from Sanwo-Olu's list, confirms 22 others. Lagos lawmakers dropped 17 nominees from Sanwo-Olu's list, confirms 22 others. If you actually know the reason why they were dropped, you can pick up this day newspaper and go to page 34 to get details of what actually happened. Now, Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin dies in plane crash in Russia. Pathetic there. UK Defense Minister will work with ECOWAS to restore democracy in Niger. We will work with ECOWAS to restore democracy in Niger. All right. Obaseki, I'm shocked, scared of FG's lack of plan for Nigerians after ending subsidy. I'm shocked, scared of FG's lack of plan for Nigerians after ending scarcity. That's coming from the Edo State Governor, Obaseki. Okay, we have read as there says palliative deceitful promises support for Edo people. Remember that he was the first governor in Nigeria to reduce the working days of civil servants in Edo State. Okay, I am shocked that people who campaigned around the country saying that they will remove subsidies had no clear plans on what to do after subsidy removal. They don't know what to do and how to support those who will be victims of subsidy removal. And you will agree with me that everything that happens in this country, it is the poor man that suffers the consequences. You can see with the rise in prices of goods and services, even things that people eat, you know, some people find it difficult to feed these days. And when you go on the road on a daily basis, you see few cars plying the road. Is a sign that something is happening. And I pray that as Obaseki is crying out and some other people are equally criticizing what is happening with the palliatives, that the government will have a listening ear, especially as it concerns the poor masses of this great nation. All right, let's move on now. We see other stories. Next, courtesy visit to the acting CBN governor. The picture is in front of the Day newspaper. All right, next one is the Daily Times newspaper. Let's see the stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Times. I told you that this program is just for me and you, so the phone lines are on your screen to call and ask questions or make contributions on topics being raised here. Now, inside Delta's mushroom schools where perverse deeds abound. Inside Delta's mushroom schools where perverse deeds abound, we have riders there, sexual indecency booms, access to students impregnants own teacher. What a weird story to hear this morning happening in Delta State. I hope investigations will be carried out to really find out what is going on and where the school is located. If it needs to be shut down, something should be done urgently to avert more dangers. Now, moving on, 3 days in office, scandal rocks Arts Minister Musawa. We tried as there. She's a 7 Youth Corps member, minister. NYSC describes the status as illegal, faces 2-year jail term, likely to face Kemi Adeosun's fate. Role of Senate, DSS condemned. and you begin to ask questions. Does it mean investigations were not carried out as per individuals that were to be made the ministers in the first place? I thought that the right thing to be done is to investigate the people, know who they are. It is the right of Nigerians to know who their ministers are. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and your location, please.
My name is Innocent.
Innocent, could you please move away from your TV set or you bring down the volume? All right, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead and talk to us.
It seems like it's only you that will review the newspaper.
Yes.
You don't see the newspaper.
Okay,
You
you're...
don't show it on the screen.
Now what happened?
The newspapers are not showing on the screen.
Okay, we are sorry about that. Maybe it's technical issues. They will soon bring them up, please. But you heard what we said now.
Yes.
A minister that is already a minister, but there's scandal that is a serving NYSC member.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Please, when you call us, go straight to the point. Any issue raised here that you feel like commenting on, you are free to do so. All right, look at what we are seeing here this morning. The 3 days in office, scandal rocks Arts Minister Musawa. They said that she is a 7 Youth Corps member, and the minister, NYSC, describes status as illegal, faces 2-year jail term, likely to face Kemi Adeosun's fate. Role of Senate, DSS, condemned. And you begin to ask yourself, does it mean that the minister was not investigated before being assigned Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Okay, a lot of questions there. Let's see. FCTA denies reports of bid to demolish 6,000 houses. Wike's use of 300 million naira bulletproof vehicle. FCT denies reports of bid to demolish 6,000 houses. Wike's use of 300 million bulletproof vehicle. Speaker urges committee on NHF to be guided by fairness. NSIA plows $1 billion into third-party investment. NDDC, KPMG sign deal, and other stories. Okay, let's move to the next paper, the Daily Sun newspapers. Let's see what stories are making their headlines in front of the Daily Sun. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. FG, Emefiele explore plea bargain option. Arraignment shifted indefinitely. Lagos Assembly rejects 7 commissioner nominees. NAS to revisit gender equality bill, assures Akpabio. Now, fresh crisis looms as APC fills vacant National Working Committee zonal leader positions. Protest trail Abia Cross River Kogi approved candidates. Jobs scam probe, reps angry over refusal by 300 MDAs to honor summons, issue final warning. We won't tolerate failure, Nigerians warn ministers. Wike inspects rail transport project, first official assignment. NDLEA launches manhunt for Lekki drug dealer who crushed operative to escape arrest. UK pledges to work with ECOWAS leaders to restore civil rule in Niger Republic. PDP at Debuto's case against Abiodo, pack of lies, APC governor tells a tribunal. And we have fuel subsidy removal. I'm shocked, scared of FG's lack of plan for Nigerians, laments Obaseki. And now, if you can see the issue of a man that crushed NDLEA officer in Lagos, I can say that all these workers, all these officers standing on the road, they should know that Nigeria and Nigerians, something is actually not adding up, that when you do your job, please be cautious about the way you stand on the way for some people. At least you can get the number of the vehicle and trace the person thereafter, instead of losing your life in the course of duty just like that. All right, let's move on to the next paper, which is the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, reps FMBN draw battle line over multi-billion naira housing funds. We have riders there. Lawmakers play non-remittance, say heads must roll. Mortgage Bank puts 11-year contributions at 238.2 billion naira. NLC threatens pulling out from scheme why Nigerians can't access housing funds, coming from the minister. Now, APC replaces Kiari, Edu, 5 others, strategizes to win Bayelsa, retain Kogi and Imo. And Nigeria's crude oil production fell to 1.29 mpbd in July. 94-year-old man arrested for raping a minor in Adamawa. And Wagner leader, 9 others die in plane crash amid Niger crisis. Lagos Assembly rejects 17 commissioner nominees, confirms 22. Kano governor seeks larger share of FG's palliative. Implementation of new varsity curriculum begins September. That's coming from the federal government. And the issue of sexual abuse is still on, and I believe that securities in Adamawa should look at the story of 94-year-old man raping a minor in Adamawa. I wonder what 94-year-old man will see in a minor, and whether he should be reminded in prison at 94. Only God knows what the security will do with him. Okay, let's move on now to Daily Independent newspaper. FG doesn't know how to manage oil subsidy removal. That's coming from Obaseki. Autumn ready to defend administration's actions. We will work with ECOWAS to restore democracy in Niger. UK talking. Lagos Assembly drops 17 of Sanwo-Olu's commissioners, SA's nominees. India lands spacecraft near South Pole of Moon in historic first. And it said that India is the 4th to launch into the moon. They are the 4th. Hello, good morning.
Into the moon. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Could you please... Yes, could you please move away from your TV?
The one that I'm speaking to is lamentation.
Okay.
It's a time that we can't looking at the governors. Let us stop lamenting. What happened that they have done no people.
Obaseki was the first person. Wait, Obaseki was the first governor to reduce the working days.
They reduce the working.
Yes.
It's not a plan. Reducing working days is not a plan.
Okay, is your opinion?
It is not a plan.
Okay.
Reducing the working days just to have the economic of the state. So let us hear this very clearly, very well. Governors will sit up and tell us what they're going to do for their own people. As our governor is doing here, not lamenting.
Okay.
Pointing finger to another people. So if you sit up,
all right.
Tell us what they are doing for his people for almost 7 years. Now this has got to renegotiate. He's doing nothing there. And he's collecting his own allocation. He's only governor who doesn't know what to do. He's always pointing finger. trying to come out. Let me kick off. I said it's simple. What is going to do for them on top of you? Our government is doing it here.
All right, thank you.
That is simple.
All right, thank you very much. That's your opinion, and I believe they are listening, or they will hear and do something positive for their people. All right, now we're still looking at we've looked at the Daily Independent, and it said Obaseki is a case of remove the plow in your own eye before looking for the one in another person's eye to remove. All right, the next paper now to look at is the Guardian newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines in front of the Guardian. 24 years after, Nigeria's space program loses traction despite yearly attraction. That's from the Guardian newspaper. 3,620 kidnapped, 5 billion naira ransom demanded in 1 year, says the SBM. Now, Lagos lawmakers drop Abayomi on Motosho, 15 others from commissioners' list. Russian insurrections, Prigozhin dies in plane crash. UK backs ECOWAS call for immediate release of Bazoum. Naira resumes free fall, depreciates to 890 naira per dollar at parallel market. I don't know which one we are going to take. The other paper said is 900 naira. Now the Guardian is saying is 890 naira per dollar. Okay, let's hope that it continues to fall that way so that we can see whether things will begin to go back to normal. Julius Berger, 10 years of endless agony pains on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This road should be built once and for all to alleviate the plight of the people using the road on daily basis. Okay, let's move on now. The next paper for us to say is, let's look at the Vanguard newspaper. That's the next paper to see. In front of the Vanguard newspaper, we see Niger, Algeria, Egypt oppose military action, seeks dialogue. There will be no solution without Algeria, says Algerian government. 7,000 discouraged migrants stranded in Niger because of border closures. The stabilization of Niger will have consequences on Libya, and Vice Versa Barthelé, UN envoy, UK demands immediate release of ousted Nigerian leader Bazoum. Now electricity, REA deploys World Bank funded 103 solar mini grids. Wike denies purchasing 300 million naira bulletproof SUV. Nigeria needs quick fix to economic challenges. NECA tells new ministers. We also have other stories. We are meeting Nigeria's 40% LPG demand coming from NLNG. There will be zero tolerance for procurement fraud in MDA. Senate speaking. Troops repel IPOB's attack on army base in Imo. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. MFLA explores plea bargain deal, and we can see fire in front of the paper there. That is fireball from a plane that crashed north of Moscow, the Russian capital, yesterday, and I think that's the plane that killed Wagner private military group leader. We condole with the family of the deceased. Okay, let's see. The last paper, but not the least, this morning is the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see stories in front of the Nigerian Tribune. Cabinet list shock as Lagos Assembly refuses to confirm Abayomi on Motosho, 15 orders, 22 confirmed. Now nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize. We can see also financial experts won over $3 billion NNPCL loan. We have read as the Naira sells at 910 at parallel market. Risk reserve investors paid 1.5 trillion naira for 364 days treasury bills as rate jumps to 13.9%. Now, the APC vacant National Working Committee zonal positions intrigues as Edo supplants Cross River, Kaduna, Abia, others retain slots. Travels of Nigerians, other emigrants on skilled worker visa left destitute in UK. That's report reaching us from the Nigerian Tribune. NDLEA launches manhunt for suspected drug dealer who crushed operative to evade arrest. Again, Mefele others arraignment stalled. Wagner boss Prigozhin among 10 killed in plane crash in Russia. U.S. commits $9 million to humanitarian assistance disaster response in Nigeria. And I hope that this commitment will be utilized effectively to meet the needs of those intended to capture. And that's just about it on the press review. You can go to the papers we've read out today for details and other stories. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonya Mokoye. Bye.